Let's continue the discussion of the different ways of entering a personal credit card into QuickBooks. The next option that we'll discuss is the one that I singled out as extremely dangerous, which is imported personal credit card as a credit card, as a proper credit card into QuickBooks. It's dangerous because the transactions on the credit card become part of your business records, and if half of those transactions are personal transactions, then you don't want them part of your business records. It will just create a huge mess. So, but let's go one by one. So the workflow, if you choose to do this after careful consideration, then the workflow is use bank transactions, the bank transaction screen to link to credit card accounts from the bank. So just like any other bank transaction, you link to the bank. Yeah, this fully integrates personal cards with QuickBooks. So you link your account just like any other transaction to the bank from the bank transaction screen. Access statements in QBO, so all your statements are going to become available, which is very neat. Just like when you do the reconciliation for your bank account, automatically download new transactions. Use the upload function in bank transactions in the bank transactions screen for manual upload, reconcile to a workflow from the bank transaction screen. So everything happens there, and the company pays the card. So the company fully manages the card. This all works very neatly for a company card, but when you have a personal card, now you're going to have some problems. So this is the workflow. Let's look at first the good stuff. The good stuff is that it's fully automated. It works well when the personal card is entirely used for business. All transactions are in QBO and can be reported on. So transactions are fully reportable, which is a very important thing for us, because that's how we can analyze costs. And like what of the biggest things I do for people I help with accounting is find costs so that they can save a lot of money. It's very hard if you can't report on the transactions and how much the cost is. And the more detail, the more final grain, the better. So this is a big deal. Very convenient. It just works automated, just like your bank transactions work automated. And the company can manage credit card accounts from QBO. So this is all very neat. These are the pros. Now here are the cons, and this is I ask everyone to pay attention to these because this is bad stuff. Will corrupt financial record numbers unless personal expenses are explicitly manually handled to take them out. Terrible when personal card is used for both personal and business. So when the personal card is used both for personal and business, then you have mixed and matched transactions. And that's why it's bad, because this is mixing those. This is going to mix in your personal transactions with your business transactions, and they will show up on your balance sheet. Or the aggregates will show up on the balance sheet and all alter numbers on the balance sheet. It also creates some really complicated problems. I mean, one of them is that for the personal transactions, now if the company pays the card, the employee will owe the company money and owe the company interest. Who pays the interest? So it just it is really asking for trouble, and I really recommend to everyone to stay away from this, unless that personal card is really just used as a company card, because it can be that you started a business, the business doesn't have credit, you use your personal credit to start a personal card, or you just assign one of your cards to be a business card and you only put business transactions on it. Okay, so then it will work fine because it's just like a business credit card. You don't intermingle personal and business, but otherwise it is just it creates all these complicated issues. Can mix up personal and business expenses, which is illegal. You're supposed to keep your business transactions separate from your personal transactions. That's why we have separate bank accounts, right? We don't mix our bank transactions from the business with our personal. They have to be separate. Um, Extreme privacy risk. Personal life is in business books. So this will enter all your personal credit card transactions into the business books. And depending on what you use the credit card for, your entire life might be in QuickBooks, which you might not want to happen, especially if you work for a larger business and the records are shared with a lot of people. This doesn't seem like what most people would want to happen. Now, if you decide to try this out, be very careful, because what happens is once you enter this personal credit cards into QuickBooks, it's really hard to get them out, because QuickBooks wants you to actually delete the transactions, and in some cases, I found that there's no batch function. So you have to go one by one. If you imported 1,000 credit card transactions, you have to delete them one by one, which is not fun. So if this happened, I just put a note here. Then call me. I can help you get them out. But yeah, it is just, it's a bit of a trap. Don't try it. So this is when you this option that we just discussed, and is when you import credit cards as proper credit cards into QuickBooks, and they're handled using the normal credit card features and functions of QuickBooks. Next, we're going to talk about what happens if you import the credit cards as equity accounts. If this is something you feel you would benefit from in your own business, please schedule a 10 to 15-minute Zoom call with us on our calendar below. This is Konasas, our e-commerce accounting advisor. Thank you for listening.